Beck, here comes the heat, down he goes. They get to him, and it's Dallas Turner.
A big-time play by a big-time playmaker. I know, Coach O'Connell, you have to be unbelievably excited. And we saw some of that reaction when Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah came over and said, yeah, we got Dallas Turner.
Really?
Another unbelievable player in the first round. You combine him with Flores. I mean, we could go on for an hour, I think, about what this kid can do. But let's take a look at the film and see what stood out to you as a coach and what we as fans can anticipate out of this young man this year.
Yeah, Pete, the reaction in that moment was one that we just got one of my favorite players in the draft. I know everybody thinks of me as a quarterback guy, but I happen to like these defensive players that impact the game for the other team's quarterback almost just as much. Not all the way, but almost just as much. But really, when you look at Dallas, I mean, we did get him to be an edge player. And we talked about certain kind of downs with J.J. McCarthy where he could, elevate the football team. Well, the pass rushers do the same thing. And you'll see right here, first and foremost, when this guy is at his best, he's getting off the rock. So when we play this, just take a look. I always like to pause the tape for a click after the get off, that initial kind of first two steps. Look at how far ahead he is than the rest of the Alabama front right there as far as being in attack mode, trying to put a pretty darn good left tackle in a real uncomfortable spot. And I just think it kind of starts the whole process for him. That get off, now you combine that with his length, his athleticism, and you start to see some real traits that will translate to being a big-time pass rusher in the NFL. And when we look at it from the end zone right here, just take a look at it from a standpoint of that get-off. And really what we're trying to do is get off the rock on an angle right there where we can ultimately finish at that quarterback, but there's going to be a pretty darn good left tackle trying to block it. So as he got this left tackle to turn his shoulders, that's where you see the length show up. This guy's got long arms, he's strong, and now once he gets those long arms touching the offensive lineman before that offensive lineman can get that first significant touch on Dallas, you'll see exactly what's going to happen. He can get leverage and now drive, like I said, a good player right on back into the quarterback and finish and make the play.
And you don't always see that kind of strength out of a guy who's 240 some pounds. That's like a bull rush from a 270-pound true 4-3 defensive end. This guy, undersized, but the speed, but the explosiveness combined with that athleticism, to me, is what stood out.
You're right, Pete. Size, length, athleticism. It helps him be a versatile player to do all the jobs Brian Flores asks of our defenders. And this is a great clip because now you're going to see Dallas right here off the ball. And there's going to be times, he did it in 2022 a little bit, where he could play off the ball linebacker. So whether it's Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Dallas Turner all in the game, maybe Pat Jones as well, all in the game at the same time, what is he? How are we targeting him in the run game? How are we accounting for him in protection? Because what you can do with him is things like this, where he's going to really walk up and be a part of a stunt right here with this defensive end, where they're going to try to really pick the tackle. But what I love about what he does, this is NFL quality technique and detail right here. He's going to engage with this guard, run right through that left shoulder of that guard right there on his way to hopefully picking the tackle. So he's not only going to do the job to help the defensive end, or in this case, this stand-up player, hopefully get a free run, he's going to be able to ricochet off this thing and go finish at the quarterback as well. Really, really big-time stuff right here as far as his ability to impact. That's a third down, getting the ball out on one hitch timing. It helps your guys on the back end when they can trust and know that that ball's got to come out.
And when you can penetrate and get that guard to turn his shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, he has no hope on getting off on that looper. And that's the thing, the quickness and his ability to get upfield. And we've seen it twice now. Getting these big offensive linemen, I always said they're like big oak chairs,
That's right?
You walk up and push one, it's not moving. But if you tip it up on two legs, all you got to do is touch it. It falls over.
Big trees fall hard.
Exactly. That's exactly what this kid can do.
That's right. And then this last one, yes, he can rush the passer. He's dynamic on the ball, off the ball. But I thought this was a great clip because he's actually misaligned, Pete, to start this play. So take a look. They realize it late. He's still trying to transition to get over there. And normally what happens to defenders when we as an offense can get them misaligned and we go fast with tempo, you end up winning that down. Well, not so fast, because he ends up redirecting right here. Here's where you see the athleticism come into play, and then just the sheer brute strength. When you have an edge player that's not going to be blocked by a tight end one-on-one, this is basically the result of that. So right about now, you can anticipate what's going to happen, because I told you, Pete, but he's about to take this tight end for a ride. He's responsible for this gap right there, which is that left shoulder of that tight end, but why not for that gap right there? The best way to occupy two gaps at one time is put that blocker's body right there in the gap, and that's exactly what he does. Closes off one gap, able to make the play in his gap, all by just understanding the fact that he's big, strong, athletic. And then the other cool thing about Dallas is just his football understanding. When he's going to get what types of plays based on backfield set, formation. He's got all that ingrained to him already. Been really coached at a high level by Nick Saban and that defensive staff at Alabama. And I just think that translates into how we want to play defensively. Versatile skill sets of an impact player. Can't wait to get him here.
And the other thing I love is you say we need you at your best when the time calls.
Yeah.
That was a 4th and 1 play.
4th and 1, you're exactly right.
And he comes up and makes a play like that. So,
Yeah.
Coach, excited about what they've already done. Can't wait to see what he's going to do, especially with the Brian Flores defense. It's going to be a great year of film room with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell.